Morning, folks. It is a Monday morning for me. Going to be using a Taconic shave cream. This one here is sent as Excalibur. I got information down below. Check it out about the scent, and if you want to take a look at the website. This particular container is plastic, and the aftershave comes in a glass container, if that makes a difference for some of you. And that is the matching aftershave there. Also got the got it whipped up here in a salsa bowl, a lime green one. This is what the lather, it just whips up really quick. It's nice, rich, creamy. Yeah, there we go, drippy. And it does smell good. Nice, I would call it a clean scent. It smells wonderful. This is a vintage Rubberset brush. This is one I mentioned a few videos back, with a very tiny boar knot. I mean, compared to today's standard, where it's anywhere from 24 to 30 millimeter on a knot. This one here, I think, might be closer to an 18. It might be 20, but it's pretty small. But I got it whipped up here in a, like I say, lime green salsa bowl. You can kind of see it moving around in there. It's on the wet side. It does smell really nice. The scent strength is not. It's not. I would call about medium, maybe towards the bottom side of medium. Every once in a while, my nose would pick up a whiff of the scent when I was whipping it up, but in other words, not a really strong scent, if it matters for some of those folks. I'm going to be using a Focus. This is an R21-. There's a number that follows after these. These are like, one is just referring to the colorization of the handle here, and I think the numbers afterwards go as high as 21, I think. There's a number of these, the different kinds. This one here, when I got it from the Superior Shave, actually came with a black plastic insert, and this gray one here was on sale for 99 cents, and went ahead and picked it up. And to me, this seems like those two colors go pretty well with this setup. But anyhow, this is a inexpensive shaver. I think this one here might be going near the $9 mark. I think I've seen them go as high as 25, just depending on the colorization and whatnot. But pretty nice little shaver. You can kind of tell the blade that's in there, the toe and the heel is covered up, making it a little bit easier for some folks. They're just starting out, as it goes for getting nicks and cuts with the toe and the heel of the blade. I'm going to be sporting a Perma-Sharp pre-cut half blade, and that's what it comes wrapped in. And now the wrapper, it does vary, but it's a lot of them looking like that. Go ahead and toss that off to the side. Already put the pre-shave and hot towel to the face this morning. Pre-shave oil is the Art of Shaving pre-shave oil. I just use a couple of pumps and work the pre-shave oil on my face. Go ahead and wet the face, get started here. Weather's been a little bit wacky, probably through most of the United States here. I know here we've had weather up around 60 some odd degrees, and then next thing you know, we got nice cold weather that's below freezing. The wind chill gets it around down to single digits, so it's been interesting around here. I'm sure in a lot of parts of the United States, if you keep up with the weather, what all is going on. It's been interesting here in the month of January already. All right, go ahead and get started here. Off to the side on the countertop here in the bathroom, I have a damp towel. There goes drip, drip. I have a damp towel that I have off to the side, and when I go through each stroke, I'll wipe it off on the damp towel to keep my sink water a little cleaner. My nose picks this up. It's been a little spotty here the past few days, what my nose actually smells. Been having sinus issues, in other words. That is a pretty small knot. And you can tell it has no problem whipping up the lather. Uh, I really do enjoy this knot, but it's the only brush that I've got with a knot that small. Outside of the one that Steven Sprague sent to me, the Simpsons Wee Scott, it's a pretty small one. It's a tiny one. All right, here we go. Now, as it comes for stretching, it will be each individual. How much stretching is needed will be up to each individual. Some of us require more than others, and how you stretch will be up to you, what works best for you. But I like this shavette. I know some people may not appreciate the plastic insert, but there's some shavettes, what I call a metal rail that goes through the center instead of a plastic insert. I'm not a big fan of those. I have more of a problem with those keeping the blade where they're supposed to stay. At least the few that I've tried, and I think it's maybe 2 of them I've tried like that. I really don't like those. These plastic inserts seem to work a whole lot better for me. The blade stays put. I know the concern of the plastic insert is that eventually it's going to wear out. I'd got enough on the rotation that it didn't seem to be quite the issue. And plus, I will go ahead and pick up an extra one, so just in case. These, I would consider these kind of razors a good one to start with because, like I say, it does cover the toe and the heel. It makes it really easy to use. Not saying you can't cut yourself, it takes that factor out. With the toe and the heel of the blade being covered, it just makes it a little bit easier for somebody starting out. There is since the blade reveal is not very much, it does kind of give you, I guess you might say, a mild shave, if you will. You don't feel quite as much as the blade as if you'd had one that hangs out a little bit more, like maybe on a classic samurai. Probably what I should have done to show you the difference on the blade reveal on this particular Focus. I've got one that's, I think it's called a Focus Super. It was inexpensive. Can't remember where I found it on sale at. I think I paid like $5 for it. It was inexpensive. And the blade reveal on that one there, it's got one of those metal rails. The blade sticks out like this, except for even more so. I guess you might say instead of having plastic sticking out like this, this one here, it's got the blade is hanging out like that, so it's a little bit more intimidating. And I can understand somebody starting out may not want to start out with one with a blade that sticks out that far. Maybe this one here would be a less intimidating one to work with. I have to say these are pretty easy to use. I would consider it, I guess you might even say fun, because once you figure out, just how to use one, there's a lot of the guesswork. In other words, even if you get your angle off a little bit, it's really not that big of a deal with this particular shaver. Pressure would be more the one that'll help you learn your pressure. Eventually you get your angle. It's a good one to start with. And I say to start with, there's no problem with even sticking with it, in my opinion. Almost kind of, if you are familiar with a Gillette Tech, it's kind of like along those lines. It's not that you can't cut yourself with a Gillette Tech, but it does make it a little bit easier to learn how to shave with one of those. that doesn't have a whole lot of blade feel and feel super aggressive or anything quite like that. Perma-Sharp blades. These blades have probably on the grand scheme of pre-cut blades, these will be on the upper end of on the expensive side. I think the going rate for a 100 pack is about 10 bucks. They're not cheap, but in a shaver like this, you should be able to get, you know, definitely more than one shave per blade. Just depends on your beard type and whatnot, how many shaves you get with it. I think I know I've gotten 3 with it, but it's not that I couldn't went further with it. It's just I was done, so the blade got retired. These are what I would consider fun ones to play with. Reason I say that is it gives you an opportunity to develop your technique, and if you make some minor mistakes along the way, you're not paying with with blood. It's a good one to learn with. So in other words, if you're looking at holding it a different way, approaching your stroke a different way, it's a good one to work with. It's easier to learn with it, in other words. Now I've got a few here lately. In the mail. That are clones of various, I guess you might say like a feather or a kai, shavette, if you will. I think they call them, what I've seen listed here lately, blade holders. I think that's what they've been referring to them as. It's a term that I haven't seen a whole lot of, because you know, typically they just refer to as these as shavettes, even though that's related to a dovo. But the clones that I've got may have handles that look familiar to you, and maybe the rest of it may be slightly different, kind of a mix match type thing. But I ordered a few of them, and in future videos, if you're interested in shavettes, I'll talk about those, and build quality is the real thing there that I want to talk about on them, because when I got one where the build quality was really good, paid like 20 bucks for it. Another one I paid $25 for, and the build quality of that one there is not quite as nice. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about tinkering around with it and see if I can't add some washers to it to get it better at the pivot point, see if I can get a better grip on it. It's a little floppy for my liking. I like one that's a little stiffer, not one that just, you know, just flops. It was, even though you could tighten up the screw, which was nice, that, you know, that's fantastic, but it wasn't tightening up enough to where I could tell after using it once or twice it was going to work its way loose. It was going to need a washer in there to help it out some. No stinging this morning. Like I said, I think you know, when I bought these, of course, you know, they were in stock, and I think he may be out of stock on some of these, but getting a hold of one of these shavers, if you're interested in a shavette, it's definitely a nice place to start with. The shaves for me are just fantastic, easy going. Like I say, if you're familiar with a Gillette Tech, Edwin Jagger DE89, a Merkur 34, any of those shavers that are pretty easy going, easy to use. You can relate to one of these kind of shavers. It's just a really nice shave. It's not near as intimidating. That's really what I'm getting at. Good place to start. Focus has they also have the Focus Slim. That one there covers the toe and the heel of the blade. It's somewhat more expensive, of course, being made out of aluminum. It's well made, but it's a nice one also if you want to step up your game, I guess you might say. Another easy one to use in my opinion, but these, for $9, they're kind of hard to beat in my opinion. They're fantastic to use. And I have to say, I really do enjoy this shaving cream. It comes with a pump, which, so far this pump is working out rather well. I do like the pump. It's squeezing it out of tube is quite all right, but the pump seems to be easier to use in my opinion. And this scent it is really nice. And it comes out, it's not I wouldn't say it's a dark brown, but it does have a brown tint to it. In other words, like the container. It's hard to show on the camera when it's, being aftershave, but it's a little bit, of course, lighter brown than this, but man, it's hard for me to describe the scent, but it is pleasant. It is a nice one to use, especially for a Monday morning. My workload this week is going to be awfully tall. I've got a lot I got to get done this week in a short amount of time. Man, it does. It is it's, like I say, it's clean. I'd almost call it a cologne scent almost. Probably does fit in that category. In other words, it's anything crazy like obsidian, black licorice or nothing like that. This fits in a category that I think most ladies would appreciate the scent of it. It does smell great. I had a great shave this morning. A lot of fun. You can see what I've been doing off camera, huh? Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.